Well, hello there, and welcome back to the RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J, 1999, part of the RSG Lunch crew. Welcome, one and all. Glad to have you here. What is a lunch stream, you may be asking? Well, that's where we just hang out with you good folks for the next hour or so and bring you some quality entertainment. Well, we're going to try to bring you some quality entertainment. We always try to bring quality entertainment. Isn't that right, Dr. Finn?
Well, no. Some days I phone it in.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to. Oh, the phone went. Oh, I caught the phone. I saw the little flash in the left corner of my eye, and I was like, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you ain't. But small crew today with just me, Dr. Finn, and, of course, Seeley the Soulless One.
I literally phone it in. I'm connected to my phone.
Well, see, that's science. You can't argue with that. So, but for the next hour or so, we'll do a roster review, answer your questions, do some stuff in-game. No big whoop. Mechanical stuff to get through. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Obviously, you love what we're doing, so go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell so you get all the notifications when we're streaming. And then also give us a thumbs up, give us feedback. We love constructive feedback. Unless you're making fun of fans, then say whatever you like. Also, we have our Patreon up.
Hey!
Want to say thank you to everybody that has given to Patreon already. We really appreciate it. All proceeds that we make, whether from YouTube or Patreon, go directly back into the stream. Better equipment, just everything. We put it right back into the stream. I mean, some days you'd like to make a profit to where it's hookers and blow, but Finn, we're not there
Hookers
yet.
and blow is your thing, just so you know.
No, it's your thing too, Finn.
Twinkies and porg is for me. You can get hookers and blow. I'm getting Twinkies and porgs.
Fine, more hookers and blow for the rest of us. You can be a little
more Twinkies and porg for me.
No chicks for you either. So we have all these hot babes hanging around me and Tits and Loki while you're over there sitting with your porgs.
I'm gonna play Magic the Gathering with my porg.
Well, that's true. That's the idea though. We have the house where we just do gaming all day, and then at the end of the day we have a party with hookers and blow. And Twinkies
you
and
know
porgs.
The ladies are coming after the porg, just
well,
so you know. Ladies
I don't think so. I don't think so, Finn.
Ladies love the porg.
No, I got Loki the Sexy Buddha. That's my wingman right there, so you're in trouble.
Well, that just means you're going to lose all the hookers to Loki. I don't see how this is helping you.
Loki shares. So let's put that in your pipe and smoke it, Finn. All right. All right, so that's all the mechanisms, but we really appreciate everybody's support. Now, let's get into the show. We got a great show. Stanley's monitoring chat, and we'll scoop up your questions. If you have questions, go ahead and get them in. But we got a roster review to do today, so let's just get into it. We are doing 500's roster review today, and he is in the new Rebel Order. And Dr. Finn... he's got a lot he wants us to cover today, so let's just take this.
So he doesn't have a so he has just a few things he wants us to cover, but he gave us a lot of details in order to understand, and part of that is because he is a roster that's under a million GP,
right?
And so things can get really, really overwhelming when you're at that stage.
Right. We're gonna narrow you down there, buddy.
Yep. So he has 4 things in particular he wants us to review.
So let's do one at a time.
The first thing is his arena.
All right, so
he definitely wants to work on getting higher in arena.
Okay.
He's currently, if you're looking at his screen, he's running a Thrawn lead. He's doing that because it helps him against Palpatine leads right now.
No.
So he hasn't put a Zeta on Palpatine. He's wondering whether or not he should.
Yes. Okay. Stop. This does not work for me in any sense. All right.
Be gentle. He's still under a million.
No, I'm not being. Stop it, Finn. Like I'm gonna sit there like, you suck. You should delete your account. This is the devil.
French fried mashed potatoes.
El Diablo is speaking to you now. 500. You need to go immediately to Palpatine, and I know you have a Zeta. Put the Zeta on Palpatine. All right, and then the rest you can leave the rest of your roster as is. It's fine with that. But go. Hold on.
No.
Hold on. I have to look at his roster. You let me finish, Finn. Jesus.
I know you said leave it. The rest of it is, and you're fine. No,
I wasn't. I know. If you let me finish with the caveat, leave it as is until we go into your roster and I can see what you have to maybe change out. right? Because he may not have the pieces that we need for this team. So, for now, first thing first is we have to do Palpatine lead. Thrawn, great lead if you're running troopers. And some other things. It ain't working for this team. No, this is not going to work. And that's okay. You're a new player. You have to kind of understand how the team works a little bit, but Pop lead will really help you with your Vader, right? And you still want to keep, you're going to probably keep Palpatine, you're going to keep Vader, you're going to keep Thrawn, and then we'll add 2 more pieces depending on what we have in your roster. So that's the first thing. We need to look at his mods for his arena team, make sure he's putting the best mods on his team as well. So I want to go look at his Sith first of all, see what he has for Sith. I hit mods. I'm awful. Alright, let's try this again. Let's go back. I don't want to share. Stop it, GG. Let's try this again. Let's go to his characters. Eventually we'll go to his characters. Okay. No Gear 12, but that's okay. I can see there's no JTR. So BB-8. And that's CLS. Alright, we'll get to that in a second. Well, let's look at his Sith. I don't want to sort by power. Stop it. Oh, for God's sakes, I'm hitting the X. Get out of that. Alright, let's try this again. I want Sith. Highlight Sith. Thank you. Thank you for playing. Alright. He has a Darth Scion and he has a Darth Nihilus. His Scion is 4-star. 75 gear 8. His Nihilus is 4 stars. Gear 6, level 51. Alright. So, at 4 stars, both of those characters can be used. You're going to have to take them to gear 11. Actually, your Palpatine's only gear 10, so you need to get him to gear 11 as well. Those 4 characters right there with the Thrawn, so you can go Emp lead with Vader, Scion, Nihilus. Even though those 2 are 4 stars, get them to 85, get them to gear 11, throw them on your PvP team, throw in your Thrawn, and that's called a road win. Do you disagree?
Yep, and he's saying he's just starting to develop those guys, so that's fine. You're in the right position with working on those guys. The other benefit also, you'll be able to help your guild with territory wars.
Yes.
Emperor Palpatine teams at lower levels are very difficult to deal with, especially when you have a Vader, because when Vader is fast, he'll put those dots up there, he'll remove them quickly with his saber throw, and then all of a sudden everyone gets full turn meter. So you have a very strong team potentially with your basic Sith with Thrawn, Emperor Palpatine lead team, and it should do pretty well in an early shard in arena on defense as well. So I think you're in a good spot with moving with that team.
Yeah. So go ahead and get them to 85, get gear 11, and get them in as quickly as possible. That is going to be a team that's going to be dynamite for you. You've already got Thrawn, so yeah. So that's your arena PvP team that you need to focus in on. First thing first is get Emperor Palpatine to 11 and put the Zeta on him on his leadership. You got to do it. Get that Thrawn leadership out of there. It's got to go bye-bye, but that's all right. All right, so that's his arena, just his makeup of his team. What else do we need to look on there, Dr. Finn? Are you looking at mods yet, or?
So I looked at his mods, and he's a newer player, right? So he doesn't have, I don't think he has any speed sets, which is fine.
Tunes to unlock them, which heck,
exactly.
If the devs are doing what they're saying they're going to do, and
it's not going to matter soon.
Does that just not drive you batty?
I'm not a fan of it, but hey, it's their call, and it'll help somebody like 500 here. So
it will. Just
in looking at
we did have to go through all that headache and stuff, and now it's like fear for everyone. But I guess it doesn't really matter because we're going to 6-stop mod. So
no. Okay, so overall, your modding is okay. You have a lot of health sets, which is perfectly fine. If you weren't aware to what Ranger was talking about, because I see that the comment you just said you're building resistance to unlock speed sets. The latest post by the devs stated that mod challenges will no longer have character requirements. So basically, any of the mods can be attacked by any of the characters, so you don't have to worry about getting resistance specifically for that. Now, you want to worry about resistance for things like Jedi Training Rey, and Zeta Finn is a good lead later on, not now, just in general. You can run 2 fairly solid resistance teams in light side territory battles and in territory wars. So resistance, a very good faction to work on. For the purposes of speed set, you don't have to necessarily worry about that. Right. That being said, your secondaries on your mods are not bad. They're all just very health oriented. So as soon as you get the chance, start working on those speed sets. And they're fairly concentrated on the right characters. So with this team that we're looking at now, right, you will want to get your Vader as fast as possible. In terms of your order, I would say you want Vader to be your fastest, followed by Thrawn, then Scion, then Nihilus, then Palpatine.
Well, Thrawn's going to be your fastest just because he's just a faster character than Vader. You want your Vader speed-wise, as we always said, 230 or above, right?
It depends on who he's facing, right? Because if he's facing a lot of rebels, then Vader can go faster because he gets the extra turn.
But I mean, typically, if you put mods on Thrawn, even somewhat speedy mods,
yeah, I know. Thrawn just has a higher base.
It just has a higher base, so don't worry about that if that happens. If that does happen, you just go fracture someone and let Vader do his thing.
Yeah, we're talking more about the secondaries, not the speed order, just as right. To Ranger's point, right? So you want your fastest speed secondaries on Vader, but he still may not be your fastest character. Thrawn still may end up being your fastest. But if you focus on your characters that way, and you make Vader your fastest in terms of speed secondaries, so you give him your best speed set, you make Thrawn your second, then Scion, Nihilus, and Emperor Palpatine. You should be in good shape. Palpatine, you can try and do a little bit of potency if you can on like the cross and stuff, although you don't have a lot of kind of variety in those mods. So just do what you can with what you have. The other thing is, I don't know what you're doing in ships. Let me see. Does he have Chimera? He does have Chimera unlocked. So I don't know which ship you're using in... I don't think he gave me the information about ships. But if you're using Chimera, make sure that your Thrawn has all 5 dot mods. And same thing with your Vader. If you're using Vader, because you have some pretty decent speed 4 dot mods, but those you'll obviously not want on anyone that has a ship because it reduces their power. So Vader and Thrawn, if you're using them, make sure that they have 5 dot mods. And yeah, then you can just remod kind of as needed. Don't worry about your stats, your set bonuses. You'll probably end up with at least 2 health set bonuses just by your volume of mods. But at the current stage, all you're worried about is your speed secondaries. So get your speed up on your Vader, on your Thrawn, your Scion, your Palpatine, and I think you'll be in a fairly good position in Arena. And all you need is 1 Zeta. And that's the Zeta on Emperor Palpatine lead. Other Zetas are nice. For example, the one on Scion is a nice Zeta to have. Not hugely necessary, especially at your stage with a 4-star, with a 4-dot Scion, because you can potentially use a Zeta on a character that can help you in raids or something else like that. Especially since right now you're not at the point, because I know you're farming other things from the fleet store with what you told me. So you don't have to worry about putting the Zeta on Scion yet. You might want to hold on to it just for the time being until you see where you really need it. See how you do with just the Emperor Palpatine lead Zeta for now, and then kind of just go from there slowly. The key is to just kind of go slowly, see what you need, and then add. Don't overdo it, because then you'll have wasted something.
What should we use the other Zeta on?
I would say just hold on to it for now until he really needs it for something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
he's getting number 1 in ships, right? So that's good. But he has to...
Because he has 0 Zetas right now.
Well, yeah, so we want Palpatine Zeta first, right? The next 2 would be, if you're going to do it, is your Arena team. So I would say
Scion would be the next one, yeah.
And then
but I don't mind holding it and not putting it on if he's able to get hot in Arena.
So Scion would be your second Zeta you do, and that really makes your PvP team rock and roll, right? So I'm looking at his roster. He does have CLS. He's geared 9. He has R2 geared 9. So he's unlocked 2/3 of. He's unlocked 2/3 of what he needs. Now I want to see what he's got for BB-8 and for JTR, because that's going to be his next focus.
He doesn't have BB-8 or JTR.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We've got to.
He did mention that. So he said
next time, but he hasn't even unlocked the vets.
Right.
So
he said that he was working on First Order.
Yeah.
But he wanted to kind of go away from First Order because they weren't helping him in Arena, so he wanted to focus on something Arena based, and then he'll work on the First Order later.
Okay, so here's the thing. Your Arena team is set. You already got the pieces. You're going to be farming that stuff anyway, right? First Order, you just need to get them 7 stars. They could be Gear 7, Gear 8. You already got a Gear 10 Kylo Ren unmasked. So really you just need to finish these other ones. First Order Officer, Phasma are easy ones to finish. You're already working on Executioner. Just stay with the farm on those, right? Because you want BB-8, you want JTR, and then for your Cantina, because I think First Order Executioner is in Cantina, is he not?
Yep, and that's who he said he's working on.
All right, so
he said right now he's farming First Order Executioner.
All right, once you finish First Order Executioner, it's vet time. It really is, because let's go look at his resistance. Because he's right there for his First Order. Phasma's, he just get out of the guild GW. This is an easy farm for what he's working on.
So another thing, right? BB-8 doesn't have to go with a Jedi training. It
doesn't.
It works well with your Finn team, which you actually have.
Yeah. He's got Finn, Poe.
Let me ask him this since he's in the chat. How are you doing in Galactic War? Are you able to finish Galactic War every day? I know he's in the chat. So let me know if you're able to finish. I know you said you're farming GW currency and it's going to Phasma, which is fine. Are you able to do Galactic War every day? That's the question for you.
So he needs to finish the character he's going to need. He's going to need Finn. He's got R2. He needs Rey, and he needs the Scavengers. Rey is 5 stars, so stick with her farm. So you can still develop these characters with different farms, and not affect anything else, right? So you can be working on, because I think Rey is guild event or guild tokens. Where's Rey at? Scavenger.
Yeah, she can get her from guild.
Right, and then she's got a hard node too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She does.
So there's the farm for her. That's not affecting anything for your First Order farm, right? You already got Finn, good. R2's done, good. So you just need the other 2 pieces. So for your Cantina farm itself, you're going to finish up your Executioner. So at least you get BB-8, and then go into the vets. Nobody likes doing it. Trust me. We hate it, but you can go ahead and finish your Executioner and then get into your vets. Because if you can get a JTR, that is a huge win for you, especially as where you're at, right? You've already unlocked Thrawn, you've already locked Emperor Palpatine, you've already done R2, and you've already done CLS. Those are some major pieces that you've got done. If you can get BB-8 at least, that's a huge help for your Resistance team. And if you can get to JTR, you've got time to do it, then you're really going to be in a good spot. You're going to be well ahead of the bell curve. And so your farms are not contradicting with one another, because I think First Order Officer is Cantina tokens, Phasma's GW, right? You're farming Cantina for Executioner. You're getting Rey out of guild event or guild store, and you're doing her hard node farm. That's one farm. So those characters right there, none of them overlap with one another to where you're affecting your other farms, right? So you can do those, and then you add the hard nodes for Scion and Nihilus, and I think Nihilus is in one of the stores too. So you're not in any way doing these farms, the ones we just told you to do, in no way overlaps with one another where you have to make a decision on one of the other ones. That way you're working toward your BB-8 and your JTR, and you're finishing up your Scion and your Nihilus. So you're working on your Arena, you're working on getting the next set of characters you need in JTR and BB-8. You're building up your Resistance team in a way because you're working on these characters. You're definitely working on your first order because they're easy to get, and it'll just make you have another team available and make it more viable. We're not talking about gear. You don't have to gear the snot out of these guys yet. We just need to get them so we can get you that unlock for JTR and BDA. Yes.
And he said he's having no issue with Galactic War. He's about 8 away from being able to sim the whole thing, so that's good.
Yeah. So once you start simming, when remember those days when we couldn't sim anything, Finn? So.
Oh, I remember.
God, we need more member berries.
Oh, jeez. So you're really stick to that plan that we just laid out for you for your farm. Those characters right there: Nihilist, Scion, First Order Officer, Executioner, right? Phasma, and then you can finish your Ray Scavenger, and then once you finish Executioner, go right into the Vets, and you're good to go. I mean, you're building up those teams at the same time. Not only are you working on your arena team, you're building Resistance, you're building First Order, and those are really solid teams you can use in a lot of places. And you're getting to the point where you can unlock your JTR and BB-8, and that's just going to make your roster that much better. You know, especially with the mod thing changing. Listen, mods will be what they are, right? So you'll be fine, my friend. Trust me. Just stick with the plan we just laid out for you, and you're going to be good to go. Don't do anything else. This is where you need to focus right now. You said you want to be focused. This is how you focus, and this is your plan. All right. What else do we need to cover there, Dr. Finn?
All right. So we discussed his Zeta, right? So he has the Zeta that we're recommending on Palpatine.
And Scion.
Yeah, Scion would be the next one. I would still say wait on that just to see how he does in arena without it.
I say he put it on because you're going to need it anyway, Finn.
You do, but I'm hesitant to say at his level to put it on a 4-dot character when he could use it on a 7-dot that he can use in raids.
I did when I had Scion unlocked, and I'm telling you that. Well,
yeah, but your Scion came much later. You weren't at a million GP.
But I mean, if he wants to put on CLS or somebody like that, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying, for me, I always
CLS, Raid Han, something like that. If he's able to build him up, I think I might like a little bit more. But that's why I'm saying just kind of hold on to it. See if it helps your arena team, then do it. But make sure that you need it in order to help it, right? So if you need the Scion Zeta, and that gets you from top 50 into top 20 or whatever, then go for it, right? That helps you in the long run. But if you're able to get into the top 20, top 10 without anything, then go ahead and just save the Zeta and then use it for something, particularly a 7-star character. I'm always hesitant the lower your GP is to use a Zeta on a non-7-star character, because you have to also, unfortunately, there's a lot of things you're trying to balance, right? And as you're mentioning, it gets a little overwhelming, and you want to try and balance your arena, which should be your top priority. Then your fleet arena, which you said you're already getting rank 1, so you're in good shape there. Then you also need to worry about raids, because that's your kind of next source of major income. And I don't know if you can tell us, I don't remember reading it in there, 500, what your guild is doing right now in terms of raids. If you're just doing Rancor, because you should be able to do the Rancor, because you have a CLS, so you can probably solo the whole thing. Your guild is, I think, 50-something million, so you're probably doing Heroic AAT, I think.
I would think so, maybe.
So or should be very close to Heroic AAT, if not. So let me know what you're doing in terms of AAT, because you want to try and utilize characters that get you the most rewards, right? And you just kind of work down okay, they said just started Heroic AAT. Perfect. And General Kenobi doesn't need any Zetas, so that works out really well. So you want to be ready to kind of gear him once you get him.
Yeah, that's always
where's his? So his Han Solo is 6-star gear 9. Potentially a Zeta on him is a really good Zeta, but you want to wait until he's 7-star. You mentioned CLS, It Binds All Things. That's another good Zeta. But again, you can wait to see if it really helps you in order to put a Zeta on him right now. You can kind of wait on that. Wait, is his CLS? Yeah, his CLS is 7-star gear 9.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you can wait to potentially put his Zeta on him.
He's above the bell curve on his roster, Finn. He really is. I can see where he could be overwhelmed, but That's why I'm focusing him the way I'm focusing him, because it'll really get him.
I agree with all of your focus. The only thing is the Zeta, and I for me, there's nothing wrong.
It's a matter of opinion. I don't hoard Zetas. I don't hoard crap. As soon as I get it, I look at a character that can use it, and for me, it's always been my PvP team. Who needs a Zeta? Where can I put it? Will it be effective? And for me, I just disagree with Finn. I think a 4-star Gear 11 Scion with the Zeta is worth it, but that's a call you have to make. I mean, if you want to wait and see, you can. There's no disagreement on us about that old Palpatine lead. That bad boy needs to go on.
Definitely Palpatine lead,
and
for
he needs to be 11. You know, there's no. And as you start working toward Gear 12, that needs to be your next focus. Did someone just knock on our door? So, I'll be right back. Take over, Finn.
Okay. Yep. So definitely Palpatine lead Zeta, and I see Ranger's point with Scion too. So it's kind of up to you, 500, how you want to go with your next Zeta. If you want to put it on Scion, or if you want to save it, whatever you do, make sure you do it with a purpose, right? So Ranger's purpose is always to focus on Arena. So he moves with his Arena team. Whatever his Arena team is at the time, that's what he works on. I'm thinking a little bit differently. I'm trying to see which gives me the most kind of bang for my buck. So if putting a Zeta on Scion doesn't really change my reward in Arena, then I would save it for something that will and get me more rewards. So it just depends which mindset you want. Neither one is right or wrong. It just depends on how your preference is and which way you want to kind of play this game. But Emperor Palpatine lead Zeta, definitely want to do that one. So with that, then the next thing you wanted was the focus, and where you're kind of focusing on different things. So we talked about Cantina. Cantina, continue your First Order Executioner, and then you can work on your veterans. Don't worry if you're not going to get the veterans in time for the next Jedi Training Ray event, right? You're not probably working for the next one, which will come in about 2 months probably. You're working for the one that's coming probably in 5 to 6 months. So just take your time, farm those. Don't worry about trying to farm them with speed or anything like that. The next one you mentioned is your guild currency, and your guild currency is currently going towards Jinn, Scavenger Ray, and Resistance Trooper. Not bad choices, although I would say pick one and make sure, I don't know how you're farming your guild currency, right? But make sure you always have one character that you're always keeping in focus as the character that you're trying to level up or star up. And make sure you always have guild currency in order to get that one character. Essentially, having 1 7-star character and 2 4-star characters is better than having 3 5-star characters or 3 almost 6-star characters. Because the 7-star characters, because of the way raids work, will help you a lot more. It'll help you in territory battles. It gives you another character you can use there. So it just depends which one you want to focus on. Of those 3, I think Jinn is probably the weakest, because you need kind of a Zeta on her in order to make the whole Rogue One team kind of go. And your Rogue One are still a little bit behind, right? You have 7-star Cassian and K2, but your Baze, I know you're farming the hard nodes on that, which we'll get to, is a 4-star. You have a 3-star Chirrut. So your Jinn probably isn't going to be a huge help right now. Your Scavenger Ray, definitely important, because you're trying to get her for Jedi Training Ray when she comes later on. Plus, potentially, we don't know when the update is coming with regards to mod challenges. You can get your Resistance team early, so you can start working on your speed set mods. So I would say Scavenger Ray should probably be your priority in order to get 7-star. And then Resistance Trooper, another good character, maybe one I'll work on after Scavenger Ray. If you want to buy a couple of them at the same time, it's fine, but always make sure that you're working on one character. And you said your Jinn is... Okay, so you started on your Jinn mainly because the Cassian ship was such an easy farm. That's fine. If you're 77 out of 100 and you're that close to finishing her, go ahead and finish her off. Get her to 7-star. And then I would focus on Scavenger Ray in particular, so you can work on your Jedi Training Ray stuff. So that would be your guild currency. I'm also not opposed, depending on what you're buying, to you spending guild currency on gear while there's still some characters left. In particular, the stun cuffs. Stun cuffs are a really annoying farm. They're a pretty good purchase out of the guild store. So if you need stun cuffs, They are not a bad purchase out of guild currency. The rest of it I would keep for characters. That would be kind of the one exception, and then maybe some of the Rancor raid gear. In particular, probably the droid collars, because the droid collars I'm sure you're probably running low on, and a lot of characters need that. You'll want to try and focus on getting each team that you're working on up to gear 11. That's your main focus. So get them to gear 11. You don't need to go to gear 12 except for your arena team, and if it makes a difference. Always stay as free to play. Your goal is 1 behind what the maximum gear level is, except for arena. So anything besides arena, your target is gear 11. Get your team to gear 11, move on to the next one. Don't end up with a lot of kind of unused GP. With regards to the GP aspect, I'm looking at your characters. What you can do, you haven't farmed a lot of mods yet, so it's not going to matter too much. But something you can do that'll help you with GG also, take your characters to level 50 and don't gear them. No gear, just level 50. And once you get them to level 50, you can throw mods on them, which will allow you to get more mods visible on swgoh.gg in order to organize those. Do that only as you need mods, though. Don't do it before that. Otherwise, you will be kind of wasting that entire effort. So if you have mods that aren't equipped on characters, throw them on characters right now. Make sure all your characters have some mods on them. If you have extra mods, go ahead and level them up to level 50 and just throw them on there. No gear is needed in order to mod a character. You just need level 50.
I'm back. Sorry about that. It was the maintenance guy.
No problem. So you can finish working on your Jin. I know you said you were working on it for the ships, so that's fine. Finish off your Jin. She's almost done. Then focus on Scavenger Ray. Then the next thing is, let's see. So your hard nodes. So you're working on Sabine. And
stop doing Sabine.
Well, so he's doing a lot of hard nodes, which is fine. He's doing Sabine, Baze, Shore Trooper, Scion, Nihilus, Mother Talzin, Haldo, Wicket, and Zombie.
Holy balls.
Well, that's the way to do it, right? Grande says it all the time, too, and with the current state of the game, I agree. You just farm hard nodes all the way. Most of yours are pretty well focused, though. The only one I'm not sure about is Haldo.
Yeah, Haldo doesn't make sense to me either.
Because I'm assuming you're farming it as another resistance character to kind of work towards your the challenge, right? Which is fine. Haldo isn't a bad character. I actually prefer Rose Tico as a farm over Haldo, but the benefit of Haldo, so I can't argue at this point. Haldo has one of the best hard nodes in the game because she gets the stun guns and the thermal detonators. So it's one of those things where you farm that because of the gear that you get from it, and then you do kind of subsequently get the Haldo shards, which is fine. Her node is really good. So I'm fine with that. You're going very, very heavy on characters right now. So what I may suggest to you is maybe pull back a little bit on one of them. Trying to think, like Sabine, for example.
That's the one that stood out to me. Like all those other ones, I'm like, yes. But then Sabine, I'm like, no.
Because the other thing too, right? You're farming a lot of hard nodes, which is good, but what's in Sabine's node? Hold on, let me check what Sabine's gear is in her nodes, because I don't want him to be short on getting gear for those two.
Let's see, Sabine.
So hers has a lot of the really common things.
I mean, hers says, it's not. A
very interesting palindrome you've put up here.
I'm sorry, no. It's Dark Side 1A.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Let me see where he is in. How far along are you on Sabine?
I would say wait. I don't care how far away.
Only if he's close to 7-starring will I say continue it. Because if he's close, then just finish it off as another 7-star character. But she's 5-star from what I can see, and I think he said it's close to 6-star. I think I would stop Sabine.
Yeah, stop Sabine, man.
Because you're gonna need gear too, right? You're getting some gear from all of these.
Not from that one. I mean, it's lower end.
Oh, he's saying he's doing that because of his ship position. So I think if he's using Phantom, then
still, oh boy.
You know what? If he's doing it with a purpose and he's doing it for Phantom and trying to keep his position, you know what? I have no. So with that, if you're doing that though, then what I would suggest to you is only farm one character from Guild Store and then start using some of your currency on gear.
Yeah.
You're farming a lot of shards, which is fine, but your characters are going to fall behind gear-wise. Some of them you're getting with, like Haldo, for example, is getting you the stun guns and all of that. But you will want to. You need a source of gear. Otherwise, all the characters you're getting to 7-star are going to fall behind. Mm-hmm. So once you're done with Jin, and you're focusing on your Scavenger Ray, go ahead and just work on Scavenger Ray, hold off on Resistance Trooper for now, and start getting gear from the Guild Store for the difficult things to get, not the easy things, obviously. Get the good purchases. The good purchases from the Guild Store. Stun Cuffs are a good purchase. Those Mark 5 green discs, not the Mark 6, but the Mark 5 green discs. They're a really good purchase. And the thermal detonator, the blue balls, the blue Mark 3 thermal detonators. And then
he said balls.
And then the 3 or the Rancor raid gear. So the droid collars in particular, and then sometimes the furnaces. I know people are low on. Most people aren't really low on the Nubian discs or the boxes one. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah. So if you need furnaces or you need droid collars, that's fine. I wouldn't get any other gear. Yeah. So you can work on that.
All right.
Continue with your hard nodes as you're doing. I think you're doing a good job with your hard nodes there. And
the plan we laid out for you. Get that arena team like we told you. And is there anything else we need to look at there, Finn? We've covered pretty much everything.
And then, so just going with his farming plan, so he's using with his arena currency, getting mace. I don't think there's anything wrong with mace. Let me take a quick look at the.
It's a capital ship. It's fine.
No, I know. I'm just trying to see what characters he has compared to what he could potentially get out of the arena store. So let's see. So he has Cassian. He has Kanan. I think he has Kanan. Let me look at his.
He got Thrawn.
Oh yeah, that's true. He has 7-star Thrawn. Good point. So he has Thrawn, Princess Leia.
Yep.
Where's his?
He has all the ones for CLS because he's got CLS.
Yeah.
He's got Akbar.
He has Akbar 7-star. Okay.
Yeah.
So and then what about his Night Sisters? His Asajj Ventress. He doesn't have Asajj yet, but he hasn't really worked on his Night Sisters yet.
Yeah, so I mean that's something after we get this initial portion done.
Yep.
That he can go start heavily into Night Sisters.
Yeah, and you can gear them at a low star level, and they'll be useful for you in territory wars. So, not now. We kind of gave you the farming plan for the other characters with your First Order, finishing off your Sith and all that. Night Sisters are pretty. Once you even get them unlocked, if you gear them, they become a viable team in territory wars. You'll have a really good offensive team and potentially at your level a defensive team. So Asajj Ventress, a good farm. If you want to continue with Mace, no issue. It looks like he's 6-star, so he's probably getting close to 7-star. Go ahead and finish off that, and then you can work on your Asajj. And let's see. Then some of the other ones you can kind of play around with. Droids, for example, IG-88. You have them unlocked, which is fine. HK-47. Droid teams are nice, and they're kind of fun to play around with, so you can work on that as well. So, I think you're good there. Yeah, I mean overall, I think you're in a very good position.
You're ahead of the bell curve, as I said earlier. So you're in a good spot. So if you focus on what we told you to focus on in that order and how to do it, then you will really reap the benefits because you've already started on the right path. You've unlocked the characters that you need to unlock already with EP. Great Animal Thrawn, CLS. So now it's just a matter of get that GTR and BB-8, really expand your roster, and that'll help you with your roster because now you're focused on your PvP, First Order, Resistance. It'll really help you out in the long term. It really will.
Oh, so he asks a question. He says, "What about guild event stuff?" Character.
That is, that's the old Hermit Yoda and the Wampa.
Yep. Start with Hermit Yoda.
That's where.
Yep. Start with Hermit Yoda.
Yep.
Work with him. So he's at one of those levels where I may switch once he unlocks Hermit Yoda to get Wampa.
He could do that 5-star, then go 7-star, 7-star, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, those are two really good characters you could have viable at 5-star. It just depends where you need the most help. And I mean, Hermit Yoda is where he's going to be most useful for you is obviously the Sith raid, right? But your guild is kind of far from the Sith raid. And so I would say unlock Hermit Yoda, start working on his gear, then unlock Wampa, and then finish off the characters one at a time. And the reason is both those characters are viable at 5-star. They can both be viable at only gear 10 if you really want to. And you could get two really useful characters for you in Territory Wars. And I'm focusing in kind of Territory Wars and Arena for you in particular because most of the other aspects are going to be fairly difficult for you just because of roster depth. For example, light side and dark side territory battles in the later phases, they're going to be they're going to be hard, just flat out. They're going to be hard to kind of get in the end, especially since it looks like they buffed the light side territory battles at the end.
Sweet Jesus.
So, yeah, start working on Hermit Yoda if you're not already with that.
All right.
If you have any other questions, I know you gave us a lot of information, 500. So I think we went through everything you wanted us to review with you in terms of your farming plan, your arena, where to put your Zetas. So if you have any other questions, feel free to PM me. I think we went through all of that. So hope it was helpful for you.
All right.
Question time.
Hey.
Bjorn Rodiger. Question: I really need to remind my roster. Should I start with it now or wait for the update?
If you're not doing well in Arena, then go ahead and do it now because we don't know when the update is coming.
That's true. I mean, so listen, you should always remod, especially for your arena team, right? At least if the minimum, redo your arena team. If you have mods that can make your arena team better, absolutely always do that, right? And then maybe focus on some of the teams that you use a lot. But that's about, if that's where you want to limit it at, that's fine. You don't have to do your entire roster. But I would say at minimum, just do that. Because, again, we have to see the whole, we have ideas of what the mod stuff's going to be. There's still some stuff in the lurch, so we're not quite 100% sure on. So stick with the plan like if it's not happening, right? In the sense that until we really know what the deal is and when it's being launched, then, do like you would do like if it didn't exist. Because we don't know if it's going to get pushed back, if they'll be able to even launch it. We've had stuff like that happen before, so stick with what you know you need to do.
And then just regarding like the mod changes, right? I know it looks like there's a lot of stuff coming at you with regards to this whole mods 2.0 or 3.0, whatever you want to call it. There's probably going to be a pretty significant lag time between when you're going to be able to upgrade all of your like blue and purple and green mods up to and slice them up to 5A, let alone getting them to 6E. So you're probably going to want to mod them sooner than later, as long as if it'll help you, mod them now rather than later, because you're still going to need a lot of time in order to get those mods up. And even afterwards, while right now I had mentioned like the green and the blue and the purple, they're going to lose value afterwards, so it's a good idea to level them now. You're still going to only have a 25% chance to level up those secondaries afterwards with slicing. So it's not like you're guaranteed that the mods are going to be better than what they are now in terms of speed or offense or whatever secondary stats you're doing. So go ahead and just do what you need to now in order to do improvements. Think about what's going to happen with Mods 2.0, but you don't really have to act on anything for that yet. You don't need to bother waiting to do your mod placements and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, just go ahead and change it. Next question.
Doya-san, question with the most recent mod update on the forums. What are your thoughts / concerns with the 6E bump for the upgrade of primaries being different across the board, i.e. health versus protection, for example?
Not fairly concerned.
No.
They're making a concerted effort in order to try and balance out all of these stats, right? So I don't think it's a huge issue. Yeah, the other thing too, which I learned last week, because there was a question and then I had to go on GG and look at the mechanic stuff. All those characters that get protection up buffs, where it says like 200%, so like Wampa and Enfys, and I think it was Bastila was the one that the question was being asked. It's 200% of your max health that gets added to your protection. So it's actually a good thing that they're kind of raising the health and everything. It brings more value to health, and protection is kind of fading away anyway. So I think health is the way to go moving forward over protection.
Yeah, my issue is not that they're going to 6.mods. It's how they're going about it, right? It's not that they're taking 5.6. It's eventually the game's progressing. I never had an issue with that, right? And I think the stats are fine. I mean, it hadn't really looked at it in depth, but I'm like, okay, it's the next progression of the game. It's the fact that you have to slice mods, and then you have to slice mods again from 5 gold to get to 6.mods if you didn't have a 5 gold mod to start off with, which I just think is completely asinine. So, what's the purpose of? It's like you're adding all this extra stuff that doesn't need to be there to take a mod from 5 to 6, which is not what's going to be, because we had no idea about 6.mods. The only thing we knew about was they were improving mods with the slicing. That in itself, I was like, okay, I can see that if you want to try to improve mods and stuff like that. A little, I was okay with it. I wasn't thrilled, but I was okay with it. But then when they added the 6 component to it, I'm like, they've lost their damn mind. They really have. So that's where I kind of lost my proverbial shiznit over it. And then I blame Finn.
Well, I mean, yeah.
No, Finn, that's science. It's your fault.
Mm-hmm. It is. Next question.
Doc Aryak. CG's been kind of quiet the last few days. Something inbound?
Yes, the Death Star's coming. I didn't want to tell you guys, but it's all over. I'm worried sick, Finn. I think we're going to get one right at the pooper from the old Death Star.
God. I think that this week we're going to get another part of their mod release, and I'm going to guess that they're coming out with the mod layouts. That's going to be my guess. That they said they're going to slow roll things out anyways. I think mod layouts are probably the next thing to come with and all that. So I would say mod layouts coming this week. Just my guess.
Yeah, the sooner we get that, the better. Ouch, Dumpling. Question, do you think we'll ever get a way to save our progress on these ridiculous events that have 7 medium easy waves and then a stupid wave 8? So that way we won't have to start all the way over again?
No.
Nope.
That means you're going to have to farm Chase.
Even with Chase, I can't auto it. I get this event is so freaking boring.
Yeah, I can beat it, but it's like I can auto it, but it's like you have to kind of control it because the AI does some stupid stuff. You're like, no, don't do that. Oh, okay, let me just take over.
Yeah, these things are so freaking boring.
I blame you, Finn.
Well,
it could have been funner, but it just had to be you.
Well, if it was me, it would have been more fun because then you'd be attacking me with a bunch of like army of porg. You would definitely have fun with that.
No, it would be you with your porgs, and then I would be laying Scunyon on that ass and enjoying every minute.
Next question.
Todd Mayowet. Question, how would RSG feel about doing a fantasy football league?
I'm not interested.
I used to. It takes up too much time to follow it.
We've got too much stuff going on. I mean, I'm between Battlefront this and the D&D stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the background that we're doing too. It's just too much. I mean, if we had the time, Maybe, yeah, it could be fun. Don't get me wrong, fantasy football would be fun, but it's so it's very time involved, and we just don't have the time. We're trying to do what we can for here, but hold on to that thought in the future, because you never know, things will change. Remember hookers and blow and stuff, and breakfast cereals. And...
I mean, if people in the community want to create a league, feel free.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we've got the community for. If you guys want to do something like that, and you want to create a channel, we'll create a channel for you for that. Absolutely. We'll support you guys in that endeavor.
Okay, we got Captain Obvious question. What's more important, health or protection on mods, or does it depend on who it's used on?
Depends on who's it used on.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I mean, some characters...
Well, that's obvious.
Well, yeah.
Of course it's obvious, Sam.
I mean, it's very character dependent. Some, because of what their stats and what their abilities do, lend toward you putting certain those types of mods on. It's just, so there's not one that's more important than the other, if that's what you're asking. I blame fair.
Next question.
What else? 73 question. Does anyone else feel like the mythic tier isn't even worth it after the first time for those 2 measly omegas?
2 measly omega my ass. That's a 2 omegas. Yeah. I'm taking that.
I'll do it for 2 omegas.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Omegas are a pain in the ass to get, man. I want my omegas. I want to have my omegas.
Always hurting for omegas.
Yeah, it's no joke.
And we're caught up on questions.
What?
I guess we have time for a quick Ranger rant. You want to get one in?
Well, I don't have anything to rant about right now. I ranted out last week, man. I'm kind of tired. We will be doing a Battlefront 2 stream later today, so that'll be fun. We'll do some more Battlefront stuff.
And tonight is Borderlands.
Oh, we're doing Borderlands 2 tonight as well?
Yep. Oh. We're trying to make it weekly, 10 p.m. today, sometime around 9 or 10 p.m. for about an hour. So we're doing Borderlands tonight as well.
Right. So we'll do some Borderlands stuff tonight. We're going to have old Tits McVenom on there?
If she's awake.
No, Jesus.
Oh, come on. What else? 73. You got nothing to do with those 50 omegas?
I find that hard to believe. Yeah, I call baloney on that crap.
Yeah. There's nothing you want to do with them, but it's nothing that you
I'm
can.
sure
and I'm sure there's something you could.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to spend omegas on frickin' Geonosian Spy. Like it's killing me inside.
I know. I just did Wampa, and I just did some of the Jedi, and I was like, God, because I put together the Jedi Bastila team, and I got Wampa done to 5 stars, so I got him to gear 8, and then I did all his omegas and stuff. I'm like, damn it.
I'm getting ready to go
Zeta and
crazy.
with Zeta and the omegas, which remember you need omegas for all the Zetas you want to put on. Some are outrageous, but there's that. So yeah, omegas are.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go create like a little bit of a crazy spending spree because I'm about 3 Sith raids away from unlocking Traya. So I've been collecting like all this gear. And I've made sure that I've had like the minimum gear in order to get her to like gear 11 as soon as I unlock her. But I haven't really spent anything, just kind of as like a just in case type thing. Because I don't want to like overspend and then not be able to take her to gear 11. So I haven't spent anything. So as soon as I get like Traya to gear 11, almost all of my resources are getting spent. Like I'm leveling up all different characters in order to get them up to where I need to. Because except for Bastila, I haven't leveled up or geared up anybody that's popped in. Because Bastila was actually pretty easy to gear
not
up.
Bad. I mean, there's those droid callers at gear 8 and 9. I was like, that's shocking.
Yeah, but I mean, I had so many of them because I haven't been spending anything, and I was just collecting droid callers because I know Traya needs like 3 or 4 of them or something.
Yeah, right.
So I was just like collecting them anyways, and I'm like, you know what? Let me get Bastila up. She'll help me against the Palpatine teams, and it'll help me in territory wars. So I threw a Zeta on her because I knew I counted my Zetas. I know I'll have the Zetas for Traya when I unlock her, but the rest of the gear and stuff, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to level up Bastila, and then I'll just catch up on the gear. But I have so much backlog in gear. It's going to be pretty fun once I get Traya to Traya unlocked.
She's amazing.
Okay, we got some questions now.
Oh, now we got some questions.
Okay.
My blame fan.
Bjorn Rodiger, question: where's Mike Hunt today? Ice cream truck?
I think Swery Daughter and him are probably having a WWE match.
Yeah. I think he's probably I think his ice cream truck is in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
After yesterday.
Yeah, something happened. So it's alright, he can't be on every day, and that's alright.
Katsukage, too easy. Question: do you think Wing Zero is better than Voltron?
Next question, please. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's all about the Megazord.
Not even close.
Kazakagi, too easy. Question: can we petition CG to add another tier to the credit heist? They say that they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yet.
Yeah. Wait until the next gear level, then you're probably going to see something.
Helenix from UWOL Corellia and the GRDS. Can you condense that name, please? Jesus.
It's Guild Recruit. See, that is condensed because that's a Guild Recruitment Discord server.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I've talked with that guy. He's cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, but damn, that name is long.
Sweet Jesus.
Oh, we're buffering.
Yeah? It looks okay on mine.
I'm fine.
Now we're good. Okay, his question is, can Ranger tell us which First Order tunes are the best 5, assuming one has them all at 7-star? Yeah, at 7 stars. I have most ready, but I don't know which to gear.
First, so
yeah, they're saying it's buffering.
It can't be buffering. I'm not buffering.
It actually went to video unavailable on my screen. No, I had to refresh and it came back. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Okay, it's back for me.
Oh, but there's no, it's a YouTube thing. Because now I'm getting an internal server error for the chat.
That's not me.
No, that's YouTube. This is a YouTube thing.
This is straight up a YouTube thing. And this happened the other day, and then people were like, it's buffering. I'm like, it ain't me, man.
No, this one is definitely YouTube.
I think we're good now.
I think the video's okay. The chat is still kind of messed up. I'm still seeing an internals. Yeah. Well, I have it open in a separate spot, but when I refresh it, it lags out the other one. There we go. Now it's slowly coming back. Yeah, this is a YouTube thing.
That's a YouTube thing. It's happened a couple times where it's like, it ain't me, I promise.
Okay, so the question was, can Ranger tell us which First Order tunes are the best 5?
Yes, I can.
One has them all the 7 stars.
Yes.
He has most ready, but he doesn't know which one to gear.
Kylo Ren Unmasked, Kylo Ren Masked, First Order Stormtrooper, First Order Officer, and First Order Executioner. With Zeta's on First Order Stormtrooper and the 2 on crew. I'm telling you, it's cash, straight cash, homie.
Okay, Takedown Games. Question: when is the T3 event coming for iOS? Well, the Android event is going to be ending in 1 day and 14 hours. It should start up right after that.
Why?
Ski Trooper, question: who would win in a fight between Voltron and the Eternal Twins?
The Matrix Twins. Next question.
That's all the questions.
There you go. So they said that the T3 for Apple is starting right after the Android one?
Well, they said in the forums that we were getting a 2-week head start on Android.
Gotcha.
And the event is staying with us for 2 weeks, so I assume it would start immediately after. But
I logged onto the emulator account just to get that event, and I haven't touched it since. So when can you get it on iOS? When you download the emulator?
Yeah, if you want it early.
All right. If that's all the questions, then I think that's it for us for the day. So thank you everybody for stopping by for the RSG lunch stream. Sorry about the YouTube thing. We can't really do anything about that. That's them, not us. But if you haven't already, come join us in our Discord. If you have questions that we didn't get to, we got a community of over 1,000 folks in there. Great group of people, and they're there to help answer your Star Wars Galaxy Heroes questions. Make sure you check out our Patreon if you'd like to support us. That way you can. All the money, again, gets used to basically help the stream and everything. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like the channel and stuff. Go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. So on behalf of myself and the crew, thank you guys for stopping by, and we will holler at you later. Peace.